this lesson, we'll be finding the volume of pyramids and cones. And so in this instance, it's going to become especially useful to use equations to actually find the volume, because cubes, they're not going to fit nicely in shapes like this, right? So this explains why we just want to use equations for all of these, right? So these equations are essentially shortcuts. And once again, these equations will always be given to you, so you need to know how to use them. And so when you see these shapes, the paper, quiz, test will tell you, here's your equation, right? So in order to find the volume, it's area of the base multiplied by the height. Once you do that, you divide that all by 3. Okay, so you will see this, so just make sure you remember that this fraction means divide 3, right? So here we have a regular pyramid that has a rectangular base. So that means if we have area of the base times height divide 3, we would adapt this equation area of the rectangle, this bottom rectangle, multiplied by the height. The height goes up and down, dotted line, and then we're going to divide that by 3, right? So you could take this one step further if you wanted, area of the rectangle, length times width, and then you multiply that by, the height. That's the one that goes up and down right there, and then you divide that all by 3, right? Or as long as you know how to use this equation, then it works. Here we have a triangle for the base, right? So if we adapt area of the base times the height, this base is a triangle, so it's area of the triangle. Multiply by the height, which once again goes up and down right there, right? And then we divide that by 3. And so that means when you're finding area of the triangle, make sure that you're looking for this symbol here, and you are doing base times height divide 2, and then you multiply that by the height all over 3. Then here we have a circle for the base, and so that means area of the base is a circle, so area of the circle times the height divide 3, area of a circle, pi times radius squared. Radius is from here to here, and then the height goes up and down. That will be multiplied by that height, and then divide all that by 3. And so in this instance, the shape of the base is a rectangle. So as we're finding area of the base, that's going to be base times height. 6 multiply 7. And that gives us 42. And then we multiply that by the height, which is 5. And then we're going to divide all of that by 3. 42 times 5 is 210. Divide that by 3, giving us 70 centimeters cubed. Area of the base multiplied by the height. The base this time is a triangle. And so we know area of the base, area of a triangle, that's going to be base times height divide 2. We look for this symbol, base height of the bottom triangle, 6 times 10 divide 2, giving us 30. So that is going to be area of the triangle, 30. And we're going to multiply that by the height of the whole thing, which in this instance is 5. And then we're going to divide all of that by 3, which gives us 50 cubic feet. Lastly, area of the base. This is a circle. Area of a circle is pi multiply the radius squared. So that gives us pi. The radius is 3 squared, giving us 9 pi. So that's area of the circle. It's going to be that portion. Multiply that by 5. And then we divide that all by 3. So that gives us 9 multiply 5 is 45 pi. Divide that by 3, giving us 15 pi centimeters cubed. Or if you use the pi button or put 3.14, you will also get 47.1238, etc. And so in the IXL assignment, it's going to say to round to the nearest tenth. So in order to do that, the 10th spot is the first number after the decimal. So if it says round to the nearest tenth, you have to look at the number after the 10th. You have to look at the 100th. And so if this number here is 4 or below, this stays. If it's 5 or above, then this number goes up to 2. Since this is 4 or below, it's just going to be 47.1. So rounding to the nearest hundredth would mean we want only the 10th and 100th in our answer, so we only want 2 numbers after the decimal. And so that means we have to look at the number after that. We have to look at the 3. Since this is 4 or below, this stays. So it's just going to be 47.12. If it says round to the nearest thousandth, that means 100th or 10th, 100th, 1000th. So that means we have to look at the number after this thousandth. This number here, since this number is 5 or above, this 3 becomes a 4. 47.124. Thank you for listening.